right, guys, now it is time for the light green static grass. And again, as y'all know, we're just going in and we are covering up just a little bit here and there because we want to add a little color, a little dimension. But this is mostly going to be covered up with snow, and I'm also doing this for consistency's sake. You know, I have made the rest of the platforms like this, so if I were to do something a little bit different on the last one, I feel like it would look funny. Alright guys, and I really am going to need more of this, goodness gracious. But that's it! There we go. Okay. Just trying to sweep the stray ones that come onto the white. Okay. And then we're going to do snow. Because this piece is so big, I will 100% have to go and refill this shaker at least once, maybe twice. And that's going to do it for this platform. It's pretty big, but I mean, that's it. This white area here is going to be for the shops, like the candle shop and those sorts of shops, not the food shops. The food shops are actually going to be over here. I may put a little bit of gravel down or something, but they're going to be a little bit more rustic this year. I have finished the snow, and I went ahead and laid down those little paths that I had shown you guys earlier. There is quite a bit of glue there, but once it dries, it'll be clear. You're not going to see it. I think it's going to be really good. Maybe I didn't need to do that, but I don't know, felt like I did. So we might put something along the borders to indicate that that's a road. And then we'll finish up. There'll be a road probably right here. And then probably one like that comes sort of way here and like over here. So, and maybe with this road, there'll be a little, you know, connecting road here or something. All right, I've taken some of my Woodland Scenics moss mat, which if you don't have any, it's your lucky day. It is actually in stock at Michael's right now. It is full price, but you can use one of the coupon codes that they give you. Just sign up for their emails. Fair warning, they do send lots of texts, so I'm not signed up for their texts. So I've already cut this. I'm using the Woodland Scenics Scenic Glue. We're going to do this a different way this time. We're going to glue it down first, and then I'm going to add all the stuff on, and it makes your fingers very messy. Somehow I've run out of gloves, so I need to get some more. All right. Okay. now what I want to do, oops. There we go. Now what I want to do is glue down something along here. Let me zoom out. Okay, so something sort of along here that we can see. So I'll be back in just a minute. This is actually a scrap from the previous one, and it will work perfectly. We're just gonna do, so make sure it's in camera range, a few little dabs, and oops, scoot that over just a little bit. There we go. And all these pieces are gonna look seamless because we're gonna get our snow and all that good stuff on them. Wear gloves. I may do something like this here. My eye does have a thing for symmetry. When we get to our Christmas decorating videos, you will notice that I have to have things symmetrical for the most part. There's a couple times where it's not symmetrical, but 99% of the time, if you see like a flower on one side, you're gonna see a flower on the other side. So, same thing applies to here. And actually, let me show y'all something real quick. So back here, I didn't put as much snow. I put some, but not as much. And here's why. I made these. I got this styrofoam from a friend of mine, and I cut it up. I don't know what she bought. It was really big. But look, check this out. One. And two. Actually, that won't work because the thing is going to stick up there. And two. So here, I may do another small rock thing, or I'll put some like trees or whatever, maybe make a tiny cave. But this is how we're going to cover and sort of make it look seamless. And this is actually a really easy way to cover up gaps. I will be coming out with another tutorial. It's just styrofoam that painted black wash, and you know how I typically do it. Hey guys, I thought I'd show you. I'm cutting the moss mat. It's kind of messy, so I've been doing it off camera because I didn't want to get the stuff all over here. Okay. I should have saved the other one before I laid it down, but that's okay. Okay. And so you can, of course, get your measuring tape out, and you can measure this, or you know, however you want to do it. Okay. I'm just going to do that. Looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to glue it. And I do have an idea now for the last path that's going to be over that way, because the next one platform to the right is the Dower Estate that we did. So now I have an idea, and I'll show you that. Okay guys, I've got that part glued on over there. Don't worry, it's not going to stay green. I know that maybe it looks a little bit like a cactus, but once we get all the other stuff on it, it'll be fine. What I want to do now is I want to use these black rocks. If you have been watching my videos, you know that this is actually, I think my first one is I did the observatory, and I used these rocks for the parking area. Well, I have a lot, and I thought this might be the perfect the perfect thing, because the gate, I'm going to put the gate up here. I thought about putting the gate like down here, but then like, okay, that's a really long driveway, a really long like, so I wanted to do it something shorter, and I want to do a different material to differentiate that this is a private drive. I'm sure you've seen in real life also, you're driving along the asphalt road and then there's like a dirt turnoff or something. Okay, so we're just differentiating sort of the regular road and this road. Hope if you could see what I was up to, huh? I always like to lay the roads in first, and then or lay this part in first. Who knows? This may even have a tiny gate or something. Who knows? I have not decided. This is why my glue goes so quickly. Maybe I could use Elmer's glue for this, and maybe I should. We'll see. All right. Oops. Okay. Sorry about that noise. I do work in my garage, and sometimes, you know, a lot of times you'll hear car noise. Okay, I was going to smooth that out, but that is not working the way I intended. So, that's okay. All right. Let's do it. Because this is black, I don't want it just everywhere. Maybe I could have left a spot for this, but this idea just came to me. So we may be picking off we may be picking off pieces with a tweezer later. Who knows? And don't worry, we'll have snow on this too in the end. It's not like this magically has no snow on it anymore. But this is another thing when it's all dry, we'll take it out. I'll take out the what are they called? I'll take the ramps off and these little walls that I showed you, and I'll tap them out. I'll probably bring some sort of cookie sheet or something to kind of make sure. Ooh, I'm dripping everywhere, dropping these everywhere. That's okay. And it's raining outside where I am. Can y'all hear the rain? It's not that loud, but I can hear it. Oh, making a mess. Whew. Making a mess. Yeah, there's going to be some, you know, parts that don't have it, like when I tap it off, because there's no glue there, it will all come off. But like I said, we'll use the cookie sheet or something like that to save it, so we're not just wasting it for, you know, for no reason. pat down a little bit. Again, this has to dry, and it has been so humid because it has been so rainy over here. So it's taking longer for things to dry than they normally do. Here, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. And I know this looks a little bit rough right now, but as soon as everything dries and, you know, we pat it off, it will look better. I'm just holding my arm, or my hand rather, excuse me, under this because it's dropping quite a bit onto it would be dropping quite a bit onto the ground otherwise. And that's not anything I particularly want to do. I want to get this all covered. You know, I want a really good covering. But look at all that it dropped. So, we're just gonna give it a pat down. Real good, real easy. Oops. Looks like probably because I had more glue there to begin with, but I try to pat it down so it's not, you know, a super bumpy road. All right. Plenty of room for 6 buildings on this side. And then on that side over there, it's going to be about 6. All right, guys, here is the final platform with the shopping. And then we'll have the food area. This completes everything. It'll all fit together like a puzzle, and I can't wait to show you. Stay tuned.